Hello everyone, I'm Michael.
I'm Dawn.
And together we are Chasing Neat. And this past week we've been chasing a conference.
Yeah.
Which one?
Well, this weekend we were in Louisville, Kentucky, when we went to the Bourbon Women Association's Symposium. It was my first Symposium, and it was Michael's first Symposium, but just kind of a quick little what Bourbon Women Association Symposium is. It's just, it actually kind of it honors women in the industry / women enthusiasts, whiskey enthusiasts, really trying to showcase that, men aren't the only women who aren't the only people who drink whiskey. So,
right.
But we'll talk about that later in maybe a different video. But we just wanted to do.
We took lots of video during that whole symposium. But today, tonight, what we want to talk about and show you is kind of our store haul, what we brought back.
Yeah, we weren't really looking to bring anything back per se. We figured we would be bringing something back, but
can't go to Kentucky and not get something.
I know, but I told Mike, I said he was on strict orders to tell me, like, if I was going to buy something, he was supposed to ask me, "Are you sure you really want this?" He didn't do a very good job. But when we show you some of the things we got, I think you will probably agree with me. You probably would.
The stuff that we got was stuff that it was very difficult to say no to.
Yeah, for sure. But anyway, enough of that. Suffice to say, shock, we came home with bottles.
Yeah. So anyway, the first thing we're going to show you is what we brought back from our first stop on the Symposium. We kind of went, they had an extra day, so we took that. And the field trip that we selected was
Jeff the Creed Distillery, and we got again we'll have the video for just showing what all that was about. But
cocktail pairing with food, and they were all yummy.
Yeah, great stuff. But we'd been to Jeff the Creed
a couple times
back in 2018-19 range, and you went back another time. But what was cool about that is technically this one doesn't count for my bottle purchases, because at the end of this event they gave every participant a bottle. You picked one of the two bottles, and I'll just grab my first bottle then. First up, Jeff the Creed. I got a Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey bottled in bond. So there we go.
And they signed it.
Yep.
Joyce.
Who's they?
Joyce.
Nethery
is what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
And then
Autumn.
And I can't read what they wrote in the middle.
I'm not sure what it is either. I was just looking at that. I'm like, what is that? What does she write? So we'll have to ask her what that was. But it looks like Joyce's handwriting. But Joyce and Autumn co-own the distillery. And again, being that it's women-owned, it was nice to have them as an option for an excursion. So, but anyway, so the bottle I picked for free was the Jeff the Creed bottled in bond. What did you get?
Well, I was there, and I tried their 4-grain mash bill, and I really like that. And this one's 98 proof, and I don't know that they have the breakdown on the bottle. This one's aged at least 4 years, so they're getting more age to their liquid, which is good. But this one definitely did not have their characteristic Jeff the Creed aftertaste to it. So this was more like I want to say almost like a wheat.
Yeah, because they have that Bloody Butcher corn, so they in their most of their products, but this one wasn't. The Bloody Butcher corn is different. It's different. Yeah. It's kind of like Tennessee whiskey different, but not Tennessee whiskey, if you know what I mean. Kind of like its own little.
Yeah, even other distillers that have used that grain, that corn, it has that characteristic Bloody Butcher corn, like a funk, but it's definitely it holds up even in a cocktail.
Anyway, we'll talk about more of that later because we're just supposed to be showing you bottles.
All right.
But anyway, we digress. Shock. So
that one. So
So over here, I'll grab another one.
Where did we go after?
I can't remember, but one of the excursions we did go to, we went to Buzzards Roos tasting room. I don't know actually if they actually have a place distillery other than the tasting room. I don't know because they're blenders.
Yeah.
So we got a chance to do. I guess it's hard not to talk about what we did, but bottom line is at that event they released. They were allowing us to purchase rather. A bottle of either their 7-year or their 11-year-old bourbon that was going to be released the following day, but because we were part of the conference, they all let us have an opportunity to purchase it in advance.
Dibs.
So with that, the bottle I picked up 11 year straight bourbon whiskey and 113.8 proof, and I got this signed by Judith Hollis Jones, which she's one of the co-founders of the Buzzards Roos. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the co-owners, I forget the gentleman's name, forgive me. But anyway, he and Judith and insert name here. Those guys actually were on a barrel pick somewhere together, and that's kind of how they met each other. Yep. And
the rest is history.
Buzzards Roos has. Hello, here. But anyway, it's an 11-year-old bottle, and I cannot wait to open it up and share with some friends.
Yep.
So, I take that. We actually did open it up and sent a sample home with friends of ours.
Yep.
So they got a chance to enjoy that too. So
which is going to be another video.
Yeah.
All right. So all right. So we're going to jump in what? I was going to do those.
It doesn't matter.
All right. So we jumped. In between events at the conference, Dawn and I went out of the hotel, out of the conference room to get a hamburger.
That was our first mistake, is leaving the conference apparently.
Yes. So we went to a couple of different places, but we ended up at the Bardstown tasting room. We walked in and we saw two of our fellow attendees. And they went quickly like this. So we went over there and they told us, go to Michter's. They've got stuff released. So Special stuff. So we
Mind you, it was a Saturday. So we're like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
People throughout the week, if there's special releases for any of the tasting rooms downtown, they're usually purchased by Thursday, Friday, whatever.
Yeah.
Traditionally, like in our experience at least.
So we went in and the first thing I saw, and there was one bottle left, was the Shanks. So this one is the Sour Mash Shanks Homestead 91.2 proof, 2023 release. And this is bottle 637 of 2101. And then it's got the batch number. So we will be looking forward to doing a tasting on this soon.
Yep.
And then, go ahead.
Kind of an allocated bottle. That's kind of why we're like so jazzed about it, because you can never find Shanks and their special other bottles out in the wild. But we walked in, they said, sure, here you go.
So, again, they've got a big wall full of their stuff, and so this was the only one left on the little cubby hole. I'm sure they had more, but it was the only one out, so I grabbed it. And then I looked and on further down they had.
But wait, there's more.
There's more. They had a Bomb burgers. This one's 108 proof, and this is bottle 370 of 2386 2023 release. Small batch Kentucky straight bourbon, and that's all it really says. So that's the Bomb burger. Bomb burgers. I can never say that. Bomb burgers.
Well, we don't have a lot of information about Shanks and Bomb burgers, to be honest with you, because
we rarely see it.
You rarely see it. So an opportunity to buy both of those, we got them, and we're like, we got it. But truth be known, we actually do have a Bomb burger from a lottery we got. Earlier in the year, and I believe it's probably 2023. We think. I don't know. We haven't checked. We just wanted to throw it out there. We got it, but we were just super excited that we had a.
Yep. So we went up and paid for these, and at the cash register behind them, they had.
Wait, there's more.
There's more.
Yeah.
So they had this bottle, which is the single barrel Kentucky Straight Rye, the single barrel 10-year. So that's the first 10-year I've seen out in the wild, and this happened to be in their home roost. So we got that. So we got 3 good bottles from Michter's. They did not have their bourbon, their 10-year bourbon, which I do really, really like. But
well, it turns out like probably about 3 or 4 years ago, we went down to Michter's or the tasting room, the bar, and we did a flight of, their not high end, the older.
Their 10-year stuff.
The 10-year, 20-year rye flight, basically.
Their 20's really good.
Yeah, and we're like, we're not going to like this. It's rye. That was a couple years ago. And then, Denise and Brian, who were with us, we were all like, oh, we love this. And so we thought we would never, ever be in possession of a 10-year Michter's rye. So we're super excited to share that with some friends soon.
Yep.
Soon. But
so
anyway, yay
we'll
for
be
us.
cracking that. All right, on to your side.
Good Lord, are you done buying stuff at Michter's?
At Michter's, yes.
Yeah, okay. All right.
What's on your side?
So back to my side. Let's see. Oh,
Red
yeah. So before we actually went to Michter's, prior to that, before we went to the Bardstown Bourbon tasting room. Prior to that, we first just walked into the Evan Williams experience, which is Heaven Hill, right?
Because it's on the way.
Yeah. It was hot. We wanted to get out. We haven't been to that tasting room in forever. And so, I mean, you can never really get anything from Heaven Hill, like the Parker Heritage, all those highly allocated to Heaven Hill 13, 14, 17 year, whatever. And we went to the gift shop and, of course, going up talking to whoever, the guy who's manning behind the scenes, right? And I was kind of just leaning over and teasing him about, like, he knew I was looking at something, because who doesn't look for special stuff, right? And looking around, I mean, on the shelf they had McKenna 10, like 3 or 4 bottles of that, right? $69 a piece. So
I didn't see those.
Yeah, there. So I mean, there's again, just kind of point to, like, if you go down to these to Kentucky and some of these tasting rooms and tasting experiences or whatever, you might find something. So definitely do that. But back to the story. I kind of leaned over to the gentleman, and I was like, that was probably a stupid question, but any chance you have this particular bottle? And he was like, we kind of did a little bit back and forth with each other, and he was like, do you want it? I have one. Now, you didn't see it anywhere, right? So he pulls it out of the back of his cupboard. He's like, you want it? I'm like, yeah. So it was kind of funny. We just kind of did this little transaction. But anyway, that transaction, I got this.
The secret password?
What's the secret password?
What he asked you?
Oh, yeah. The secret password is if you didn't really go on a tour and he asked you, did you enjoy the tour? You were like, yeah.
Yes, the tour was fantastic.
It was fantastic. It didn't happen to be fantastic.
And we had done it before.
Day.
We had the tour
2018?
actually twice. So,
I don't know. It was wild. But anyway, back to the story. I got Evan Williams, aged 12-year Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, 101 proof. This is a bottle that you can only get in Louisville.
Ta-da!
Score! And mind you, I was super happy that we got 2 Jep the Creeds for free and got this one. I was perfectly fine. And then we walked on down Whiskey Row. But anyway, it is what it is. So,
it is what it is.
Yeah,
right.
So we're super excited and super blessed right now, honestly.
All right. So one of the evening events was a trip to Angel's Envy.
A mix and mingle.
So we mingled with some of the people. I got to talk to Marianne Eves there. And then they had a 375 milliliter of their bottled in bond. So Angel's Envy bottled in bond. They were actually giving those out as samples, and not that, but the little ones.
Yeah.
And that was really good. So
yeah, and I believe she told us it was the first unfinished product that they have. And it's cask strength.
Yeah.
So bottled in bond. I was gonna say, what's the proof? Dun dun dun. Yeah. 100 proof, in case you didn't know.
Oh yeah. Okay. So it's cask strength, and it's 100 proof. So they proofed it ahead of time, knowing that it would come down to 100, is what I overheard them say.
I don't know. Yeah, that's interesting. So if they didn't have to proof it down to 100 at that point. Then that's cool. I mean,
which got to be an interesting. You've got to play that angel share evaporation thing just right to get it to 100.
Well, you got to have previous knowledge 4 years ago to know to have done that, right?
Yeah.
So that's cool. It's a little small bottle, not overly expensive, but it is what it is. Yep. Hey, and this time, Angel's Envy, we didn't get kicked out.
Yes, we did that. We got to go up to the bar,
have a cocktail,
all upstairs, and have a cocktail, and didn't get kicked out.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to do one more. Mm-hmm. So we ended up taking a tour of Bardstown, the actual distillery.
Bardstown Bourbon Company.
And we did, they had 2 tracks. Well, one of the tracks was with the master distiller.
Steve Nally.
Steve Nally. So we went with him. So you'll see that video.
Yeah.
But...
oh wait, and not only was it with Steve Nally, we had an amazing tour guide in the National Brand Ambassador, Jazz. I don't know what her last name is. She didn't mean that. Jazz.distilled on Instagram, by the way. She was fantastic.
She did a really good job.
Yeah, she did fantastic.
And it's not only because she was wearing purple, which is my favorite color, but she was good.
Good.
Anyway, so we got just a small batch stave finish, which was of the things that we tried was Steve's favorite. So we had him sign the bottle. And this one happens to be 48% of Georgian 8-year with a mash bill of 80% corn, 10% rye, 5% wheat, and 5% malted barley. And then 26% of Bardstown's own 5-year 70% corn, 18% rye, and 12% malted barley, along with 20% of a Kentucky whiskey. That's 4 years. Not just whiskey, but bourbon, because it's 70% corn, 21% rye, and 9% malted barley. And we round this bottle off with 6% of a Kentucky bourbon that's 12 years, 78% corn, 10% rye, 12% malted barley. So that'll be going up
in
here
the
with all these other ones.
That's cool. It's a teal bottle. I mean, it was a different little finish, so it's fun. I mean, it's not something we typically buy, but it was kind of fun. But as you know, anytime you buy a Bardstown blend of any kind, there's like a bajillion statistics on the side because you got to figure out what percentage of what got blended together. And then all the mash bills are over the side in the year, so it's like...
But it does contain their own juice, so that's significant.
Yeah, and I believe that's what they said that almost their blends going forward, all blends, are going to...
have a portion of
theirs, which is at least 6 years old.
Yeah.
And something I learned, and I don't know if you picked this up or not, but they stopped making the Discovery Fusion.
The
Blue Label.
Blue Label? Yeah.
Yeah, which is fine by me because I like Discovery. Anyway.
All right.
So rounding out. Okay, so after our Bourbon Women's Association, actually, the BWA Symposium was over, we met some friends up on going home in good Lord. We met some friends up.
She hasn't been drinking yet.
That's just why I get so excited. But we met friends up at Hard Truth Distilling Company in Nashville, Indiana. We met these friends, Tom and Linda, at the Pursuit Palooza earlier in the year.
Yes.
So not too long ago, they were going to go. They did a bourbon hunting in northern Kentucky at the Party Source. Is that what the store is called? Or Party Store? I can't remember. It's whatever is the liquor store that's in the parking lot of New Riff.
Anyway, I think it is the Party Store.
So they were going there on a bourbon hunt, and they're like, "Do you want anything?" And I was like, "Well," so I was interested in chasing this particular bottle, and I'll get it. But they got it for me, so technically that counts as a bourbon
that we acquired,
haul, whatever. Yep. And this is, of course, Maker's Mark. But it's the new wood finishing series because they said they were not going to do it anymore until they started it again.
Liars.
Yeah, but this time around, it's going to be more influenced by the actual employees of Maker's Mark. And this one happens to be the Heart Release 2024. It says notes of caramel, chocolate, and maple. Who doesn't love that combo? So there you go. They bourbon hunted for me, and then they delivered it to us.
So looking forward to that one. I'm really looking forward. I'm looking forward to opening all of these. But
I was super excited to get that. And again, all these bottles, MSRP. So we aren't going to go into what those are at this point. When we review them, we'll talk about that. But
we dig out all the receipts.
Yeah, right.
All right, so I'm done with my side. So you still have your 3 over
I
there.
just got a couple. So like I said, we went to Hard Truth, and what a cool distillery that is as well. And you're starting to see a Hard Truth Indiana bourbon like everywhere right now. It is mostly Midwest still at this point, but we've seen a lot of it. We don't buy a whole lot of it. We haven't bought a whole lot of it yet, mostly because we really wanted to go to the distillery and taste it there and all that jazz. I mean, their bottles are really not overly expensive. There has some special ones, but
some of the store picks are like $70.
Yep. So we came home with this one, Hard Truth Sweet Mash Rye, which we were really surprised that we liked that. We did that as part of the tasting, and we really liked that one. So, who would have thought we were drinking rye? But we are turning into a little bit more rye-esque drinkers.
Yeah, as long as they don't have that really strong dill, rye, spearmint, peppermint, wintergreen, that mint eucalyptus,
and it really was
overnotes. More subtle. Yeah. We're finding that we like the ryes. So what did that come with?
Oh yeah, so hold on a second. But this is 120.6 proof. So
dang.
But these bottles are cool. It's kind of embossed in the back here,
and it's Indiana, so you got to support the state. It's
Indiana. Yeah, just a cool cup. It kind of reminds me of a bottle that you dig up, like on a vintage find or
like on the island of Skye in Scotland.
Yep. But and as a bonus to buying this bottle is they were giving free a bottle of the maple bourbon cream,
which is actually really good.
Yummy.
So 2 for the price of 1.
2 for the price of 1. Yeah.
Unfortunately, it was the price of this one, not that one. But
right.
We'll take what bones we can get thrown at us.
Yeah. So anyway, I took that off. I think that's it. No, that's it. Yeah.
Grab the infinities.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so I'm not going to go into too much detail about the Symposium on this episode, but when we first signed in and they gave us a little trinket bag, they handed us empty bottles. And I said, well, what's the empty bottle for? And over my shoulder I heard someone say, that's your infinity bottle. And I'm going, do you even know me? There won't be anything to put in here.
No,
we filled 3 of these.
Yeah.
Because at the Symposium, they gave us so many samples that throughout the day, you really couldn't drink all of them and still listen and talk. And obviously, nobody wanted to throw away good bourbon. Yeah. So everybody was filling their infinity thing. So they could have done a full bottle, and we would have been good at it. So
for sure. So
this actually came from. I just read the label. It says the Whiskey Sisters Supply.
Yes, and Whiskey Sisters Whiskey Sisters Supply actually won one of the awards, Women of Whiskey Awards. Yeah, and they actually supply.
They're the brokers. They're the brokers,
like grain brokers, and so that was kind of neat. But good Lord, I cannot wait for you guys to see what was all the different things that we videoed for the Bourbon Women's Symposium.
Sure, we're all out of it.
Yeah, we're out. So we're out of that. But the one last thing what we can share you is what we got. So our friend who brought us the Maker's Mark, the Heart Release. He also was like, "Hey, you want to try this? You want to try this from his collection?" He did bring us 6 samples for us to try later, but we must get those out. Those are see if anybody even knows what those are.
And again, upcoming video episode, but we wanted to plant that seed.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm gonna pull this thing out, and Mike can. Yeah, and that will be it for the.
All right, careful, because they'll fall. Let go of it. All right, so the first little bottle is Forward/Rhapsody.
Yeah.
100 proof.
Come right here.
Ta-da.
Yeah. No idea. Never heard of it.
Yep.
This one. You want to say it? Oh, sorry.
13th century, and this is 135.8 proof.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, Tom, are you sure that's not supposed to be 13th colony? He's like, oh no, it's 13th century. I was like, what? I never even heard of this.
And this one is a Deadling bottle and bond, obviously 100 proof. And this one is a J. Rieger 144 proof.
That one he's really trying to kill us.
Yeah.
Hazmat right there.
Yeah. Close to not being able to go on the plane on that one. All right. And this one is a copper and cask double oak rye at 121 proof. Mm-hmm. And last but not least is a mash build.
Yeah, it's called mash build.
And it comes in at a 117.4 proof.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing a video on this one.
Yeah.
We're gonna
maybe not the same night.
Yeah. So what I'd like to do is do a with the people who gave us these is do a Zoom tasting with them. So they're on their screen, they do it. Us on our screen, we do it. Or we're just going to do it.
We're going to do whatever we're going to do.
But so yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, it was quite the haul. And I would love to say that it surprised me that how much bottle we came home with, but it never ends up surprising me because that's not atypical of us. But I mean, seriously, the stuff that we got was stuff that we wouldn't have otherwise found probably that readily and easily. So anyway,
good haul.
Good haul, and great weekend. And I can't wait to talk to everybody some more about the Bourbon Women's Association and the Symposium. It's a great foundation, and it's a great fun more than anything.
Yeah, and those girls can put away some bourbon.
Whatever. There was like 20 guys there the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we had them carrying our bags.
I was outnumbered and loving it, but. But yeah, it was, guys, if you want to go with your wives or spouses or significant others, definitely do it because you don't feel like a fish out of the water.
Yeah, who cares when you have access to all of those things, so, but anyway. That's it for this round tonight. We will let you guys go and catch us in the next video.
Bye-bye.
Ciao. We're out. Oh, we gotta do this.
Hello, everyone. We are back. We took a couple days off to go down to Louisville. Dawn had we have to say, hold on. We have to say who we are, right?
Yeah.
Introduction. All right. Start again. Look lovingly into the monitor.